Hello everyone, I'm Ritesh, first in the world to be Tableau ambassador and Power BI super user. This is my website dancingwithdata.com where I talk about data analytics, data visualization, best practices, so forth and so on. I do have Power BI channel as well, that is Dancing with Data Power BI, and the link of that channel would be there at the description. If my videos are making sense to you, do like, subscribe and share. Today I'm here to talk about one of the most exciting features of Tableau in the recent time. It's highly recommended to use this tool for or say before your deployment, because what it does, it identifies if a workbook follows certain performance best practices or not. So you are getting a sort of sanity check before you move ahead and post this to production. I'll give you the demo, but this is one of the most common issues that you might come across during the deployment time, whether you have followed the best practices or not. And in the recent version of Optimizer, you cannot means you are not only able to see if you have followed the best practices or not. You can solve some of the cases as well. If, for example, if there are fields to be hidden, basically the fields which are being unused in your dashboard, now with the new workbook optimizer, with one click you can just hide those, and I'll show you how you do that. With this feature of Tableau, I would say, Tableau is little ahead in terms of performance tools. If I compare this with Power BI, because with Power BI you have performance analyzer, which is something like performance recording with Tableau, but they don't have workbook optimizer, something like workbook optimizer that can recommend you before you post your uh, workbook to the production. Okay, now enough of talk. Let's go to the workbook and see it practically. So this is one of my dashboard that I've prepared, and I'm ready to deploy this to production, right? This is monthly retail analysis sort of dashboard that I prepared. So now I'm just, so before you publish, run optimizer. Now that's a beauty. It will show you that how many parameters you have passed, how many parameters you need to review, and how many parameters you need to actually take action. You need to take some action, because this part maybe you need to review, maybe you'll go with the suggestions or not. It depends. For example, they say that dashboard size are not fixed, because basically if you see, fixed sort of dashboard is more performance oriented. So if you have forgotten that, you had to make the fixed one, and but if there is any reason to make use of custom size as I've made over there, then you can ignore it. Otherwise you can go with the fixed option over there, because that is more performance oriented. Because if you go with the fixed one, size is fixed, so it won't expand and collapse with the different monitors that you use. So that's where you are making it more performance oriented. Anyways, let us ignore for now and go to the next one, where we need to really take some actions. Like, okay, there are some unused fields over there, right? Like TLD parameter, sheet one, and all. So if you are not going to make use of certain fields, maybe it makes sense to hide those fields, because that will decrease the size of extract. In fact, you need to consider hiding any field that are not being used, regardless of whether it or not the data source is an extract or not. So whether if it is an extract or not does not matter. If you're not making use of it, hide it, right? So how do you do that with this tool now? So no need to go to the workbook and do it manually. You can just go to the server. Right now I'm at server, if you see, and of course this is public server, but I'm at server. Well, this cute little toolbox side of a sort of icon over there is going to help you, right? So first of all, seeing is believing. So before I do this one, I'll just go back and show you that actually you have that parameter name over there. So I've just opened a sheet, and at the bottom you can see TLD parameter is there, that is not being used, and there are other fields as well. We'll make use of that toolbox, and after that we'll see that whether it has gone off or it is hidden or not. Okay, let's do it. Publish again, an optimizer. We got the recommendation here, and I go to the unused field and I say, okay, fix this rule for me. Okay, unused field hidden. Then you can do undo as well, right? If you don't want to have that one. But now we will just go and publish it. So I will just show you whether it is there or not. And I'm just opening a sheet, and you can see it has gone. Right? It's nowhere there. So now you can fix such issues on the fly, right? Which is a huge advantage when it comes to Tableau. Not only that, it increases your knowledge whenever you come to deployment stage. Before publishing the dashboard, you just go and you can see not only from the take action, but wherever you have passed as well. Sometimes you don't even know what you have passed. So you can just go and, for example, you are not making use of any unused data sources, and number of data sources are optimal, all these things, right? So it will improve your knowledge on the best practices. Having said that, everything is not included over there, right? But a lot of things are included over there, right? So you don't think that this is like 100% foolproof, and if you are passing everything, you have passed everything. So certain things will not be involved over here. Such certain suggestions or say relevant suggestions might be not over there, but a lot of suggestions are there, right? So please to make use of that. One of the other suggestion is to, compute the result of the calculation part can impact performance. Now consider pushing this calculation to the data source when possible. So there is one calculation over there which it is recommending to get back to the data source, right? Now that's the common recommendation you have, that when you materialize some of the calculations over there, but specifically they are talking about this calculation, which I'll just open for you from the left hand side and say describe. So here you can see there is a count aggregation which you can take to the data source, and you can improve the performance.